to Manfeild this morning, so it was a major accident, so it was quite a detour for a lot of people. So we've compressed the earlier Gixxer Cup sessions into now. We had one just the last race was the Gixxer Cup, and we're back into action now. My information shows me here, correct me if I'm wrong, it might have been in the wet last year. Harry Parker from Timaru set a lap record at 1:44.356. Cameron Goldfitch set a lap record today, 1:38.312. So Shane Miller had that lap record for a wee while. He was the fastest man on the track, but at the end of the race, 1:38.312 for Cameron Goldfitch from Whanganui. So that's good. It's his second year in the Gixxer Cups. The Gixxer Cups have only been round for one season, raced all the way around the New Zealand Superbike Championships. There was 4 rounds last year, there's 5 rounds this year, 3 rounds of the Suzuki Series. Last year, Suzuki New Zealand put up a $5,000 prize for the Gixxer Cup. They've doubled that to $10,000, $10,000, and that's the combining points from the Suzuki Series and the Nationals. So that's the money, and you can drop one round. And that's all about the fact that these bikes are limited in terms of age, between 14 and 21. But to race at the cemetery circuit, you must be 16. So it's not fair that some of the racers of 14 and 15 can't go along to the cemetery circuit and other people can get points. So if you choose to drop the cemetery circuit, A, because you can't compete there or it was your worst round, or you drop another round, then everybody gets 7 race meetings. Here we go, 7 thousandths of a second on the last race there in the first lap, 26 thousandths of a second this time round. Cameron Goldfitch holds the lead, held the lead, but Shane Miller used the slipstreaming to get in the front there on the number 20 bike just past the start-finish line, so 26 thousandths of a second. Curtis Boyd there in third place with Sarah Humphrey getting ahead of Hamish Simpson and getting 4th place. Caleb Gilmore there in 6th place. Justin Mounder was in the race earlier on, but expired on the warm-up lap, so something going on with Justin Mounder there. Pretty sure he's a local boy, 99, he's around this area, pretty sure he's a fielding boy, so good to see Justin back out there. The rules in the Motorcycle New Zealand Championships, you have not allowed to score in a top, I think, 5 position in any other class over previous years. So the idea of the Gixxer Cup is to bring newcomers in there. I'm really excited. I was really excited to see all the racing last year. I watched every lap, every minute of every lap last year. I was the only person to do that, apart from maybe a couple of the supporters and the families as a commentator, because they had them here, but and other rounds. But the beauty about it this year round is you've got people that are a season older, and we've already seen quite a few of the riders from last year step up into other classes in the Motorcycle New Zealand level. So there are bikes on the market. If you head to Trade Me, I'm sure you'll find a Gixxer Cup bike. If you put the word out, there's a website, Facebook page, Gixxer Cup New Zealand, and on top of that, Suzuki New Zealand have both second-hand bikes, race bikes from last year. They would have been checked and fettled, and they have new bikes available. So 26 thousandths of a second, mate, this is going to be less than 7 thousandths of a second, 3 thousandths of a second. How good a commentator am I? I knew that was less than we saw in the first lap of the last race, 7 thousandths of a second, but now we're down to 3 thousandths of a second. I don't have my camera on me. That's a shame, because I'd love to take a photo of that split there and just show people how exciting this Gixxer Cup class is. Even then, looking on Ctas footage there, it's very hard to pick 2 motorcycles up there. They're so close, there's not even a bike length in between them when they go through that very, very fast right-hander coming into the left. They've opened up a bit now, maybe 6, 7 bike lengths, not even that, in fact, maybe 4 to 5 bike lengths into the hairpin now. So Shane Miller, the fastest man on the track, a 1:38.835, a 1:38.835, so half a second slower than the last race fastest time. That doesn't matter, they're still out there doing it, they're still having a good time, and down that centre straight you can see that bike in second spot, which is probably Cameron Goldfitch, is closing up on Shane. This is all about Shane going through and breaking the wind in the front, getting that break of the air, and of course Cameron Goldfitch there in second place doesn't have to do that. Watch him down the back straight, 3 bike lengths, maybe 4 bike lengths. In fact, Shane seems to be opening up a little bit. It'll happen now. They'll close up quite substantially towards the end there, but almost perfectly matched. There it is, there they're coming. This is the slipstreaming getting into it. The lead rider is breaking that wind. You know what it's like breaking wind sometimes, and coming around the big sweeper, perfectly matched for riding skills and speed there on the corners there. So we saw 3 thousandths of a second in the last lap. This is a 5-lap race. Going to see a little bit more there. I'd say that's probably about 0.1 of a second, 0.121 of a second. Cameron Goldfridge still in second place. Lap record today has been broken, or lap record from the Suzuki Series last year, 144.356 is now 138.312. So that's about 5 seconds. I can't remember. We must have had rain at that meeting last year, and but that's right. They also had the racing here earlier on in the 11th MiniMotoGP, and that certainly had some dry racing. So the lap record 138.312 for Cameron Goldfinch from Wanganui. Those guys going into the hairpin at the moment. There hasn't been more than about 5 bike lengths separating them the whole way through. Further down, there's a battle going on just in front of me as well, and I think that's Hamish Simpson and Caleb Gilmore with 0.3 of a second between the two of them. One of those, I think it's Caleb, is a new rider riding the number 23. So the lead battle goes into Higgins there. We're over halfway through the race, 3 of 5 laps. And we've got a slow-mo there from Ctas. Mate, this guy does so brilliantly. He's up there, one-man band, filming all this, and then identifies a good spot and goes back and does a replay. So you can see all this footage on ctaslive.co.nz. You can see it live, of course, now with the commentary in the background, and in the future, and only about a day and a half in the future, Grant will get back to Hamilton, unload all his gear. He's got to pack up from here. There's a huge amount of gear, including static cameras around the track. He'll get back to here, up to Hamilton, and load this online, and you can watch it in the future. Here's those lead 2 bikes coming across, and it was 0.1 of a second before. It's now 0.19 of a second with Shane Miller. They've slowed down into 39s. So they're about half a second, maybe 0.6 of a second slower, but still battling it out all the way through there. They come out of Toyota corner, and again, 4 to 5 bike lengths between them. Just enough to fit on the screen on the Ctas footage there. And it is number 20, Shane Miller, in the front. Where's Cameron Goldfish going to get past him? He did the season of the New Zealand Superbike Championships last year. From memory, he was midfield. Once or twice he got up there in about 2nd or 3rd place. That's only from my memory. It says a lot of racing goes on. I commentate about 30 days a year throughout the countryside. So it was, I know Cameron Goldfish was midfield sometimes, but had a couple of shining stars. But definitely today, Shane Miller and him down that centre straight. Maybe 5 bike lengths. That's about as far away as they've been. Let's go back to 3rd place. Curtis Boyd on the number 16 machine goes through there with Sarah Humphrey in 4th place there. Caleb Gilmore going across the start-finish line just now, and 1.4 seconds behind is Hamish Simpson, running around in the 150 lap times. The great thing about this class is all the bikes are matched, so you can go up to another rider, and generally they'll talk to you and have a chat. It's all about the sporting thing. They'll have a chat with you and tell you how to modify your bike, well, how to prepare your bikes, because they're not really allowed to be modified. How to set up your bike suitable for this. You are allowed to adjust the forks and things like that. So lap 4 down, the checkered flag awaits. Who's it going to be coming down the start-finish line there? And it looks like to be number 20, Shane Miller, goes through there and takes the checkered flag, a 0.3 second gap ahead of Goldfinch. Back into the 138s, in fact, back into the best lap time. So I don't know what's for both of them. They went into the 139s before, so in terms of fastest laps, Cameron Goldfinch in the race half an hour ago, 138.3. We got a 138.7 and a 138.8 for Shane Miller and Cameron Goldfinch. Thank you to Suzuki New Zealand for bringing this class to New Zealand. It's been some exciting racing. People think it's slow. Well, it is slower than the big bikes, but certainly it's tight-packed racing all the way through, and you know, expecting possibly up to 25 bikes there at the Suzuki Series and the New Zealand Superbike Championships. Across the line in that's bike 24, Hamish Simpson rounds up the 6th place. So Shane Miller, Cameron Goldfinch, Curtis Boyd, Sarah Humphrey, Caleb Gilmore, Hamish Simpson, done and dusted.